Hey guys, Omega Alden here, back again with some more oxygen not included. I'm a few minutes late, apologize for that. I just lost track of time. So yeah, here we are, back in oxygen not included. Let's give it a second for the simulation to renew. Alright, so, what do we say? It says building entombment. We should fix that at a priority 9. I guess some ice melted or something, and that fell. I don't think I dug this up for anything, but maybe I did. But we need to fix that as to get power to our gas pumps, to get oxygen going. That's why that warning is happening, I think. So where are we at? Last we left off, we've got a heat problem. Our farm is too hot. So I believe... Yeah, so we've got some orders here. Let's see what priority they are. We got priority 7 orders to get some of these Weezeworts, which we're going to use to drop on our farm. Probably here, and then maybe I'll make a space over here somewhere for another one. Just to try to get it back into reasonable temperature ranges. I think a lot of the heat... So there's some heat coming from this. And then there's some heat coming from the water, which may be from the water sieve itself. It looks like it's from the water sieve. So we may want to try to cool the water sieve a little more too. I mean also, so power transformers, they could always use stuff to try to cool. And whatnot, so, alright. We're working towards that. Oh shoot! How did plastic... Some of our plastic got too hot and melted? We got naphtha down here. Just surprising to me. Our little dudes are making their, little slickster friends are making oil for us, which is good. We were working slowly towards getting to these slicksters to capture them and put them up there. What's the temperature like up here? Okay, I think it's... I don't know what their acceptable body temperature range is. Are they dying because it's too cold? Their health is low. I may need to put something up there to heat them up. Because they're used to very hot, like 150. Do I need something in there for them that's heated? Let me... What could we put in there? We could put a space heater. Maybe that's worthwhile. We put a little space heater in here for them. Like, directly underneath them, maybe. I don't want them to die in here. This is supposed to be a little comfortable area for them. So, I'm going to rig up. So, is this okay to put on here? I think it required 120 watts, so I don't think it's... It probably pushes this a little too high, but I think it'll be okay. I'll use it for now on this grid. And let's just prioritize this at a pretty high rating because I want to make sure that my boys in here are taken care of. 25 health scares me. It makes me think that either they're dying from cold or whatnot. I don't know. I'm worried about them. I'm going to give them a space heater for comfort reasons. And, yeah. Hopefully that works out for them. And, okay, let's unpause it. So. Wait, I hope none of these guys die. Come on, buddies. 25 of 100. Just make sure you guys are nice and warm in here. I don't want you to die. Because I think I've read online that they could die of getting cold, so that's why I came and checked it out. But I don't know that what their health of 25 of 100 indicates if they're dying of being cold or not. I just want to make sure that they get everything they need. I don't want them in here in an inhospitable environment. I wanted this to be mutually beneficial relationship. So, yeah. That's kind of the key here. Twitch chat is unavailable. Stop! Okay. Why is my Twitch chat mess up when I start it now? Connecting to... Can you actually... Yeah, there you go. Now this thing is connected again. Okay, so how you guys doing in here? We probably, now that we're doing this, should also make sure to get some insulated tile over here. Because we don't want their heat business seeping into our base, really. Also, how's our... Okay, we do have a wart seed that we can drop. I think priority is going to be to put it right here right now. I don't know if you guys have any other thing. Because maybe I put one here. Maybe I dig up one of these plants and put it here. Removing a potted plant is going to be more beneficial than having, 5 of these things that cannot grow. So, let's get this thing built, please. There we go. And now go deliver that wart seed. How we doing down here? We're getting close to exposing the other wart seed. 2 more wart seeds, that is. Carbon dioxide. Oh yeah, we have oxygen right here, so they should be fine. Circuit overloaded. Yeah. I was worried about that. Let's turn this off for a little bit. Here, go disable it, please. I guess we could disable the pump instead if we want to, yeah. Did we disable it? What's happening? I don't want the circuit to be messed up. Space heater is making this place. It's heating it up in here. Is this effective for them? Oh, let's take a look at their health again. They're still at 25 of 100 health, so... I don't know. I think... So we made this pump over here last time. And I think that it might be unnecessary. We probably can turn it off. We have this pump down here, which is now essentially pumping mostly chlorine. But let's take a look at the overlay for this. So it's getting what looks like oxygen, chlorine, and it is getting CO2 in decent bursts. So this thing's doing its job, but this is getting mostly oxygen and chlorine. Oh wait, no, this is the output from that. So is this thing, what is this thing getting? So this thing is mostly just running for no reason. So let's disable this one or deconstruct it. Let's take a look at the power there. Let's deconstruct that. Let's see these. Once this building goes away, I can properly deconstruct whatever thing is unnecessary, which is just this one, I think. So that reduces our heat generation and power usage a little. Power usage is not too much of a concern, but heat is, always a potential problem to solve. So these are now growing. We brought this back into a respectable range, although it is still a little hot over here. I wonder if dropping something in here is going to be worthwhile. Is this going up in general or down? I don't know. It seems to be kind of in the range that's acceptable. We'll have to keep close eye on here. because I don't want it to get too hot. Water sieve also getting a little hot. Is there something we can do to cool this water better? I don't really want to use a fan or something like that. But what could be done? Because this is getting... I think it's just that we're getting hot water from elsewhere. Like, I guess this is probably... This polluted water... it's not too bad. 86 degrees. So it's getting hotter post-usage. What about... We don't have this anymore. Triadonna says hello. Hello to you. Welcome to Thursday's stream of Oxygen Not Included. We don't need food to be made continuously anymore. That was just a concern from everything being hot, so let's make sure to turn off the microbe musher. So are these slicksters gonna get healthy or anything like this? I'm worried about my boys. My slickster boys. Have we dug into here yet? We have not. I don't know how we ended up with naphtha. Maybe the plastic melted up here from being too hot. It's really hard to tell. So, one thing I was thinking about was we've got these really dense pockets of polluted oxygen. And obviously, if we burst these, right, it's going to get all into our base, potentially, and all of that. Hey, Roll to Crit, how you doing, man? So if we burst these pockets of polluted oxygen, it's going to get us a lot of dirty air in our base, which is not what we really want. Let's take a look at... So, one thing that I don't know how it works, but there's puffs, right? We have a... Where's our boys? Our little puffed friends. There's someone up here, I think. Did we kill it? I don't think I killed it. I thought there's like a puff somewhere up here. There he is. Puffed. Puffs are non-aggressive creatures that excrete lumps of slime with each breath. Do they... I think they eat polluted oxygen and make slime. Which slime we can use with... let's see. Roll to Crit says he's doing good, and that's good to hear. Glad to hear it. So... Let's see. What is it? It's algae distiller. Music Kit's having some issues with mosquito bites on a child. And Triadonna says she used a puffed as a slime factory before, and that's what I'm thinking about doing right now. Is looking at that. So it takes in slime and it spits out polluted water, which we could use more polluted water for sure. So if we could make a little area for polluted oxygen, like say this thing down here where it's absolutely filled to the brim with polluted oxygen, and put some puffs in there, they could slowly eat away at that super dense amount of polluted oxygen and then give us algae and give us polluted water. And that to me sounds pretty amazing. Because algae means that we could start using things like algae deoxidizers more often. We're probably, I mean, we're not at great levels of algae. Breaking down our slime, which we have a bunch of right now, means that we could clean up some of our polluted oxygen generation. As far as gases go, I'm cleaning up polluted oxygen at the cost of sand. And I don't know how much sand these things use. Because deodorizers use sand. This water sieve uses sand. So I think I want to make a little puff area. But I need to be careful of how I set it up. Because, like, let's see. You want them to drop slime, but you don't want that slime to be in your base at all. How are we going to do this? This is also a lot of polluted oxygen over here. Oh my gosh. And I almost dug into this to go put a, I was looking to dig into this to go put a water pump down here. I'm glad that I didn't do that. So, what kind of setup can we have for this? That's kind of the question I have. I really want an area for polluted oxygen. I need to be careful about it because I don't want it escaping. So maybe I make a water lock somewhere and then go into one of these high concentrations and then try to make that my base of operations for making algae and polluted water, basically. Or, yeah, polluted water. So I could create a water lock to get into this area, this area has obviously a lot of dense polluted oxygen in it. So let's start by, let's take a tack like we did up here. And let's create a little water lock for us. And because I want to have something where we can move the puffs, and I think just an area like this is fine. So, and I've never done this before, so if anybody has any advice on it, let me know. I really just want to have a, let's see, a little water lock. So I need something like something like that. Something just beeped at me. I hope I don't have I probably have Facebook up. I'm gonna alt. I did have Facebook up, so I'll just close that so it doesn't make any noise. Cause I'm throwing out opinions on there that probably a lot of people, I don't know, some people agree with, some people disagree. That's just my nature. But they get a lot of responses, and I don't want to hear ding, ding, ding every time some response comes through because I had the window open in the background. So we're going to take a little time here to develop a water lock. I'm not entirely confident in water locks working, so I am going to also make it a mechanized airlock in here. Just because if things go bad, this is a lot of polluted oxygen to go in there. Music Kit, this is not a priority 9 situation right now, I don't think. Maybe. How's our plastic doing? Can we turn this back on? We're in a good situation here for plastic, so I'm just going to leave it off for a bit. What are my guys doing down here? Did they break in here? I have not. How are our little dudes doing? Slicksters? I hope they're all still... Their 25 health concerns me, but what are you guys at? Oh, these guys are 25 health too, so maybe I'm just being a worrywart and heating this up for no reason. That's entirely possible. And even, okay, well, he said priority 9. Let's priority 6 it. I was saying, let's let him get to it naturally, but if I let him get to it naturally, it's going to take forever, so. I want to get the water lock started. And then how are we going to approach this? I want to have a large area with ideally probably a lot of storage compactors for me to throw my stuff in. So, and I want to keep that on the side that is dangerous. So I want to put like all the slime, I want to move all the slime that's up here probably down here. So, let's see. If we were to take this, make a bunch of these things. If we use airflow tiles, Or even mesh tiles in here. We can let the water live down here for all I care. I'm not concerned about that. How do we want to approach this, though? I'm not real sure. I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now, guys. So we need this to be for water. And we want it to be auto-bottled at like a priority 7. We want to make sure people are dumping water in here. And we got to pay attention to this. Make sure that they don't overdo it. Okay, so they got that going. They're dumping water in here. What can we have? This place is going to be nasty. Probably. So let's put a little art in here. Just to kind of class up the joint. What do you guys think about that? And maybe I don't even need these like bridges. I could almost maybe put the airlock in here. I talked about this before of just like chopping this section off. But for now, we'll leave it as is. So we're closing this area off. And we'll priority 7, enable auto bottling water. So let's get these things going, my friends. And now we're going to I don't know why I would. I'm just gonna start assuming this is here, and then we'll make gas get pumped into here or whatever. There'll be polluted gas in here regardless once we get in here. I don't want them to start going in here yet because obviously we haven't finished our water lock. Temperature's still holding up over here. That's good. How are we looking elsewhere? Should we place one of our wart seeds somewhere over here just to try to cool things down some more? It's a little decaying food is a problem, but I'd rather have decaying food than people dying, so not going to do anything about that right now. So these things aren't too hot, but this area is kind of hot, so maybe we want a couple of, what do you call them? A couple wart seeds down here. I think that we'll just try to cool down this general area. Put these at priority 6. Water's getting pumped in here. It'll take a little bit, but we'll get it done. And then, so what do we want? We need puffs. Are we going to want them directly in this room, or are we going to want something? We might want an intermediate room. I don't want them to be able to get out is kind of the issue, so I need to I need to be careful with how I set that up. We could potentially we could have this up here and then have or what am I thinking? How many cycles do you get, or is it infinite? Is what Music Kitch has asked me. You get, as far as I know, an infinite number of cycles. The problem is you have a limited number of resources, and at some point you hit some sort of catastrophe, whether it's food or lack of energy producing things, like you burned all your coal and that's all you were capable of. Eventually, you're limited by that more than anything else. So, like, you've made your place too inhospitable. It got too hot. People can't live here anymore. You burned through all your ways of creating oxygen, and gases got out of control, and suddenly you couldn't do that. So, it's that type of thing that is the limiting factor, really, more than anything else. So let's copy our settings for these. just cool this side of the base off, because this side of the base is pretty warm. And I am still concerned about the water sieve being a little hot. But, you know, it is what it is. So our water lock is slowly progressing here. All of these things are pretty highly condensed pockets of polluted oxygen. And I am scared of that. So what are we looking to do here? We want... the reason I was building storage compactors is I wanted it for the slime and algae. I want to make sure that they can easily collect the algae, put it in there. And... yeah. Polluted water we can drop down here. So we could look at running a pipe situation that comes down and drops into this this reservoir. So, however we end up doing this, I think we can have a situation like this. Let's see, we need a liquid bridge, liquid pipe here to connect this, and then a liquid vent. So, because we're going to have... wait, I'm kind of working under the assumption that I'm going to put... and maybe I will. But this is under the assumption that I'm going to put my my distillers out here too. And maybe that's a good idea, maybe it's not. But if we put our distillers out here, we have a few of them maybe. Like, I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. So if you are like, no, this is a bad idea, Alden, just let me know, because I'm not so sure right now on what's going to be best. But this is going to be for polluted water that we get from the process. We're going to need a power transformer, probably. I don't know how juicy these things are. By juicy, I mean how much energy they need. And then, how are we going to have the puffs contained? I don't want them to be able to, like, slip through here or anything like that. I don't know if they go in water at all. But I'd prefer for them not to make it over there. It says we have insufficient oxygen generation. Let's take a look at our report just to see what it's saying. It's saying we're losing like 16 kilograms of oxygen. A little more than 16. Now it's up to 20. So it says we're losing oxygen. I think that we're okay right now. But it's hard to tell. I mean, well, it's not that hard to tell. We're doing fine as far as oxygen is concerned right now. Okay, so we did dig into here. Collected the wheezeworts, which is all we really wanted to stifle, or, you know, stymie our problems in the farm area. Everything's cooling down over here a bit, I think. This section's getting a little warm. We may need another wheezewort in here. I don't have access to one right now, but, you know. Oh! Cancel. Disable auto building. Bottling, disable. We have this thing sealed off, so now we can deconstruct these. Okay, so now we can actually start working on this area. And I believe we'll be okay. So let's priority 6, kind of the clearing of this. Did I have priority on there? No. I don't know what I did just there. I think I may have given sweep orders at a priority 6.